Today we're going to be demonstrating 3 different products while at the same time cleaning up our fence row here. We're trying 2 of these products for the very first time, starting here with the mini clip from agfolks.com. Aha! A stump. That'll be no problem. We've got just the tool for that. First tree I've ever cut with the mini clip. I've seen this product on the Precision MFG website for, I don't know, a year or 2 years. I've been a little hesitant to show it to you. Let me explain why. It's a little bit pricey for most of our viewers. It's somewhere in the $5,000 range, and so that's a little bit pricey for what at first I thought it could do. It can come in here, it can cut trees up to 7 inches. It does a great job of cutting them. It snips them right off, and then as you saw, I could take my stump grinder and grind right in there and good to go. Well, then what convinced me to actually show it on the channel? This is a little bit unique for Tractor Time with Tim, but I've been to multiple farm shows where I've walked up to the Precision MFG booth, and rather than being visited by one of the salesmen at the booth, I have a customer walk along and say, I bought that thing. It is awesome. Just in a few minutes, I would have 5 people walk by and say, that thing has saved me an enormous amount of work, well worth the money. Next guy comes along, says exactly the same thing. So I thought, you know what, we need to actually try it on our channel, see what we can do with Johnny, see what we can do as far as size, does it have enough oomph? Several things we need to check on. I don't think Johnny 1 1025R is the optimal machine for the job, but I think it helps give us a baseline to kind of understand, can it work? It might be better on a little larger tractor. Let's see if it works on Johnny.
You know what I like?
What?
You're trying out something new, but I'm getting rid of these trees that are in the way here. We got a nice long line of Christmas trees, and these I think must just been volunteers and
somebody's let them grow up. Yeah. I really should be letting you do the work, I guess, because we kind of had this deal where all the stuff around here you were going to do.
Yeah, this one's new though.
Maybe I'll try it a time or two.
Out somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try it a time or two, and then you can.
I hate to take all your toys.
That's right. I got to have a little of the fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have a problem on our videos actually illustrating how large the items we're cutting. For instance, we were in the brush the other day with that, what do we call it, the tree monster. And people were saying, oh, I could mow over that with my brush cutter. Well, that brush was bigger than that. I guess we failed a little bit at being able to illustrate just how big it is. So I thought I'd get under here. This thing is rated at 7 inches. And not only is it rated at 7 inches, the jaw won't open any more than 7 inches. So you might be able to see down here where I've actually tried to jam it around this tree. That's the typical TTWT way, right? See if I can get it on something too big right at the start. Well, I couldn't do it. So how big is that? Well, how do I measure this? I can measure the diameter maybe of one of these. Get your calculators out, viewers. Pi, 3.14, times the diameter is the circumference. Well, the circumference here is 13 inches. So we need to divide that by 3.14, and the answer is right there. That's the diameter of this piece right here. This one's 23 inches diameter, so dividing by pi, we get 7 point something. I don't think we'll probably even be able to get around this one, but it's a big tree. Okay, so this tree's clearly too big for the mini clip. We'll show some others that are more reasonable size. Meanwhile, if you do encounter a big tree, you can rotate it sideways and you can take limbs off of that tree. That's a good function for a fence row. So we're going to do that now. Yeah, I've already chopped the top out of this tree, but we're going to take some of these side limbs off just to show what we can do. Now you can cut anywhere in that rotation. It's not just flat and 90 degrees. Any part of that rotation that fits your limb or your tree or whatever you're cutting, you can cut anywhere there.
Do they make a bigger clip for bigger tractors?
They do. This is the mini clip. The
Okay.
next one up has a cooler name, but I can't remember what it is.
The big clip?
No, it's much.
The chip clip?
No, it's much cooler than that. Now, one point here is that the slowness you see. You notice that it's pretty slow to clamp. That's all because we don't have much hydraulic flow with the 1025R. You get much bigger tractor at all, and that's just going to be much faster. So you're not going to have that problem. If you've got a 40 horsepower tractor or a little bit more, you'll have plenty of hydraulic flow. With these little ones, you just don't get much. We talked about that limitation in several episodes, and that's what we're dealing with. What you see is that big diameter hydraulic cylinder. A bigger diameter hydraulic cylinder has more power, but it requires more oil to push it, so it's going to operate slower. Okay, probably 11, 12 feet. One thing I was concerned about on this unit was the protection guard here to keep things from hitting me. I've noticed that it seems to be positioned exactly where it needs to be positioned for that purpose.
Things just kind of fall off to the side.
Yeah, they
Not-
typically fall off to the side, but even when you get one that falls right towards you, it slides down that angle right there. And given that you're dealing with a 7-inch maximum, you're not going to be dealing with a huge tall tree that could come over the back of that thing. Can I leave all this brush right here in the driveway?
Not long term.
Uh-oh.
Surely you have a grapple somewhere.
Hopefully we can find something. So we're right at 7 inches here. When I stretch it tight, it's hardly 7 inches. If I push it down there, it's shadowed so you can't read it, but it looks like it's 6 3/4 to the tip of one of these, but I should be able to drive right on by the tip of one of them. Scuff that much to get to 7 inches. What's it say, 24 1/4, 24 1/2? It's up to 26 down there, so we're not going to be able to do this one at the ground either, but I think we'll be able to cut it. If we can get it low enough where the stump grinder can grind it, that's really all we need. Seven inches that way, almost 8 that way. It'll slice them. It doesn't have any problem slicing them, does it?
No.
Major issue is just getting around them. Just having the jaws opening up enough to get around them. And I imagine that's protection for my own good. Because you know me, I would put it around whatever I could. So they probably got it specifically designed to open up just enough. But it sure would be fun to be able to get around a 10-incher, wouldn't it?
I don't think so, Tim.
It's really not that sharp. It's probably almost 1/4 inch thick. It just uses the brute force of this big cylinder.
Christy's showing the least expensive grapple option that we've ever shown on this channel. This product attaches to any pallet fork frame, so it doesn't matter what brand of pallet forks you might have. This pallet fork at a grapple will fit. You use the existing forks, and you can position them in several different configurations, either close or far apart, depending on your needs. I wanted them pretty close, so I actually mounted them inside the vertical frame pieces of the Grapple. It worked well. Okay, we're back to the mini clip. This is a maximum size we can handle. You'll notice here that the 1025R is not able to squeeze quite hard enough to cut this tree. Now don't worry, we'll get it cut. We just need a little bit better leverage. We need Christy to open up the jaws and to drive in further, drive in as far as she can. And just like a pair of scissors or a pair of pliers, working closer to the hinge gives you better leverage and will allow you to cut more. Now remember, the 1025R is only rated about 2100 PSI, 2000 to 2100 PSI. This device requires 2500 PSI. And I think closer to 3000 PSI would be even better.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was your first tree with the mini clip. Now the 1025R doesn't have quite enough hydraulic pressure to give that thing a good clamping.
Okay,
Right,
so
so that's
why
what's
I had
going
to
on.
open it up and close it again.
Yeah, what we were trying to do was open it up and drive in a little harder and then get a little better leverage.
Right.
Right. With a little bit bigger tractor, you could clamp that right in two, I don't think, without any problem.
Oh, so we can try this on the 2038R.
Yeah, we probably should try this on the 2038R. It's really a better fit for that tractor. It's pretty heavy on the front end here. There's also another feature that we haven't shown yet. You can actually extend that clip out.
Oh,
I
wow.
think the length of that pipe there in the front, I think so another 3.5 feet or 3 feet or something like that.
Wow.
It'll go out forward. Now that's a manual extension. The higher one, oh, I remember the name of the next one. It's called the High Reach Clipper,
Okay.
and it has a hydraulic extend. Because we were on the 1025R, I really didn't want to extend it. I
Right.
just feel like we've got about as much out there as we want to deal with.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe on the 2038R we can do that.
Sounds good.
I'll tell you what, I'll get this one out of here and you can grind this stump.
Oh, okay.
Now, as of this airing, ShopGreenDealer.com has received another shipment of these Bamalite 1P24 stump grinders. So it's a good time for you to get yours. They're less than $2,500 with free shipping. These are made in Toronto, in North America, rather than China, like the competitor. Remember to use code TTWT for that 5% discount.
This is the way to pick up little limbs in the yard.
Let me tell you a little dirty secret about grapple testing. You see a big log picked up or a big tree picked up, any grapple can do that. A good test of a grapple is how well you can do when you're picking up a small piece like I just picked up right here. This fork at a grapple shouldn't do as well at that, right? Because it doesn't have as many bottom teeth. It shouldn't have as good a chance of pulling them together. So that's why I tried this here. And it actually worked surprisingly well. By being able to set the forks on the ground, I was able to scoot into it better than I thought. No surface damage to the grass or gouging, but still, I wouldn't be able to pick up the tiniest of limbs with this. And I think you'll find a lot of the grapple solutions that are, a little bit less expensive, a little bit of a compromise, you probably have a problem with that. Actually, this one, for the price, hard to beat.
That was a pretty big tree. Pretty tall anyway. He's gonna push it through to the other side.
Well, Christy, my summary on this guy so far. Now, we're going to have more episodes with it. We'll have more experience. But my summary so far is that the competition to this guy is a chainsaw and a strong man. I think that if you're in your 20s or 30s and you don't have too many trees to deal with, the chainsaw is the way to go.
Right.
On the other hand, if you've got a mile of fence to tend and it's grown up over the last 5 years, you've got a bunch of 3 to 6 inch trees in that fence, there's no manual labor with what we just did here.
Right.
We did no manual labor.
No, we just kind of use the tractors.
Yeah, I mean, we cut them with the mini clip. We hauled them off with the Atta grapple, pallet fork Atta grapple.
Yep.
You could use any grapple, of course, but you put those two items in combination, and then we use the Baumolite stump grinder 1P24 to grind stumps, which you wouldn't do out in a fence row. You would just leave the stumps. You wouldn't worry about it.
Right. We left stumps underneath those trees, the other cedar trees.
Yeah.
We didn't need to.
We ground the ones we could reach.
Yeah.
That's really what we were saying. Now, we've got a cat here going nuts, and I'm not sure
berserk.
why. I tell you what, folks at the farm shows go nuts over this thing, telling how much they can get done with it. And that makes sense to me. I mean, you could use this thing all day long
Exactly.
without getting tired, right?
And even if you had a hired hand on the farm, they could go out and do this by themselves and reduce your labor cost.
Yeah. So I think this is for not necessarily the small acreage homeowner that just has a few trees. This is for somebody that's got a lot of fence rows to maintain, a lot of small sprouts that, you know, they just have to deal with on an ongoing basis.
For the number we're doing, it's probably overkill, and we use it because it's really cool and we wanted to show it off, but we didn't have that many trees that needed to come out.
Now, we are concerned on that tower project. That's where we're going to go next with this. We're going to put it on the 2038R. Once we get some of the mowing and other brush cleanup done at the tower where we can see what's left, we intend to go in there with this thing and take out everything up to 7 inches. I think for that may be enough volume
Yeah,
that it may really, you know, pay for itself in that kind of scenario. Tough, strong, no question about that.
Exactly.
1025R can handle it, but can't quite clamp hard enough to get those full 7 inches, right?
Right,
We saw that.
Yeah.
I think the 2038R will be able to do that. Hope that helps. Get yours at agfolks.com. Coupon code TTWT gets a 10% discount.
Wow.
Both of these items are at agfolks.com. The Pallet Fork Add-A-Grapple Mini Clip.
I like the Pallet Fork Add-A-Grapple. I haven't had a lot of experience with your grapple, and I was pretty easily able to use this.
You know, you could slide right in on the ground.
Yeah.
It was actually in some ways easier to use than a grapple.
Yeah.
I would say not as functional, but pretty good.
Yeah.
This is a $500. I believe it's about $500 when you use coupon code TTWT at agfolks.com. $500 add-on to your set of forks, and then you have to buy the diverter kit. So let's say that's $700 from Artillion.com, or you can get them from Precision as well. $1,200 and you have grapple functionality on top of your forks. Not
Wow.
too bad of a spend there,
That's
right?
pretty good.
Hope you enjoyed it. I'm ready to eat.
Well, I'm cold.
Yeah,
It's
that's kind of where
supposed to
we
be summer.
that's kind of where we end up a lot of the time. She's cold, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. This thing goes down and down and down. I bet during that talk you can actually see it going down. Where are you? Use the gator. I'll haul her back in the gator.